MHD is pleased to welcome Stacey Broughton, who will demonstrate an interpretation of the iconic 5-point cut.
Welcome to myhairdressers.com. My name is Stacey, and today what I'm going to be doing is my version of a 5-point haircut. This is my model Olga, and she's got very fine hair, but it's got great texture to it because it's got a little bit of a bevel to it. And what this will do, this will aid my graduation when I cut the hair, as it will give a little bit of a bend and help the shape form. So with my version, I'm actually going to be working with a top panel of hair which is going to sit over the perimeter. So working with this very strong perimeter which will go all the way through the shape. Then I'm going to have a panel of hair which will sit on top of this and drop and give me my 5-point look at the front. With the original 5-point in the back, it had this build-up of weight, then graduates in with 3 points here. What I'm going to be doing is, again, I'm going to be graduating the hair in very tight and quite high all the way through this back area. Then I'll have another piece of hair which will sit on top of this, so it's going to create my version of a point through the front, and then within the hairline area I'll be carving my shape in through there. Now, the things to watch for when you're doing this type of hair is the hairline growth patterns. You can see how the hairline moves in, so you've got to take care on the hairline and work out your shape before you commit yourself. So my fringe, one of the main things about fringes is working out what is going to suit somebody. And one of the main things that I do when I'm working on a fringe is I look at the shape of the eyebrow, I look at the shape of the eye, I look at the cheekbones through here. So I'm actually going to expose Olga's eyebrows, pull this round through here, keep it level all the way through there, and it's going to give me a really strong shape around the eye area. That's the idea behind it. Now the point that will run down through the side area or sit on top of the shape has to reflect either the shape of the cheekbones or jawline through here. So you're actually using your lines to point to certain parts of the anatomy. Also, as the piece comes around through here, I use the corner of the jaw as a guide in one respect. And then another important element is the shape that's down here. I mean, a way to find that shape is to feel it on yourself, and that's the shape that you need to mirror when you're cutting angles in the back of the head. Olga's hair has a fantastic texture because it's got a slight bend to it, and the great thing about having a little bit of a bend to it is that it will just carve into the shape itself, so it will form itself as I graduate the hair. So this is my version of the 5-point haircut, and it's a tribute to Vidal. This is my sectioning for my version of a 5-point haircut. You can see how I've sectioned the fringe area through here, coming back into a classic triangular shape. Now, what I have to be careful of is to leave enough hair here to fill in the gap, because the fringe is going to come through here and wander all the way through into the shape. So I need to have enough hair here. The same on this side, I need to keep enough hair within this temple region so it gives enough strength to the shape as it graduates through here. Now, in the back area, this section that runs down through here with this triangle, this is going to be cut down shorter so the hair sits flatter to the head. So it actually puts a space into it, so that way this top piece of hair will sit around and over the rest. So it just breaks it up rather than looking too much like a lid. It'll make it look a bit more detached, a bit more modern. Once I've completed the exterior of the shape, I'll be then able to move on to the top section. With the top section, there is less work to do, because this is going to sit over the underneath and hide some of the underneath, so I can carve my pointed shape in through here. And then maybe even work a solid step in. I'm a bit unsure about this area here, but I know exactly what I'm going to do the rest of it.
Stacey begins by making a judgment about his fringe and internal graduation visually using his comb. Next, Stacey takes a horizontal section on the top right-hand side. He pulls the hair down with medium tension and cuts a line, finger width, from the skin. Stacey is mindful to perhaps leave this length a little long to ensure the perfect result. He then assesses this line for suitability. Having assessed his line, he chooses to recut for suitability, as this forms an integral part of his internal shape. Stacey continues the cutting line towards the back over the top of the ear. This is to accommodate root growth and movement around the ear. Stacey then works with vertical sections, starting from the front hairline, using the top section as a guide, pulling the hair straight out from the head and angling his fingers in to form his graduation. Stacey continues with parallel sections with minimal over-direction, using his previous section as a guide throughout the side area. Next, Stacey cross-checks his work diagonally, working from back to front, ensuring the same angle is applied. Stacey then checks the line of his graduation visually. Stacey then repeats this process on the second side, mindful of balance and angles. Once Stacey has established his guide on both sides, he next works with the back area using his side guide as a guide. He takes a vertical section and uses the same elevation and cuts a line parallel to the head shape. Stacey continues this line in small sections until he reaches the centre of the left-hand side. Stacey continues with vertical sections following his side graduation down towards the back of the ear and into the nape using his previous section as a guide and minimal over-direction. Please note, ensure this section is evenly damped throughout to facilitate even tension in the graduation that runs through to the centre back. As Stacey moves towards the centre, he uses slight over-direction to create a roundness in the internal shape to enhance his head shape. Stacey then cross-checks his graduation diagonally. Next, Stacey works on his second side by cutting a guide in the top triangle. He takes a vertical central section, elevates the hair straight out from the head, and cuts a line parallel to the head shape. Please note, this reduces weight in the crown area and allows the disconnection to fall over the crown, achieving a sleeker shape. Stacey continues with pivoting sections in the crown, using the previous section as a guide. Having established his guide in the top, Stacey continues with the vertical section, working from the centre of the triangle to the nape. Please note, this effectively reduces the graduation in this area. Next, Stacey works the opposite way through into the sides with the same technique. Stacey then cross-checks his work diagonally. Please note, this internal shape has a flatter appearance. Stacey then checks his connection from his right-hand side into the flatter side back area on the right-hand side. Stacey continues this process of checking on his second side.
Keep this area disconnected, because this is the heavy line that runs all the way around through to the front. And this area's got down short to make it flatter and sit in. So keep them two separated. We join the two graduations together by working with diagonal sections across through here, and we knit them together that way. Now when you're cross-checking short hair, one of the easiest ways to cross-check it is to work with slightly diagonal sections as opposed to horizontal sections. You can check your weight and whether it's level or anything by lifting the hair, but then at any weight, take out diagonally. It stops you putting any lines in the hair. Because you put lines in, you've got to go through the whole process again. The technique I used for putting this weight line in was taking a fine section on the top, pulling the hair down, and leaving it longer than what you required, and then gradually reducing that length to get to the level that you like. Then working with vertical sections, angling the hair in at approximately 45 degrees to graduate the hair in tighter. Then when we come to do the opposite side, we put a trace line in and then do the same technique. Now we've got to this point, what I need to do is I need to clean up all these outside edges all the way through here in the front area before I do the fringe. So on this side I'll do the same as the other side, clean up all the edges through here, clean up the graduation through here before I commit myself to the fringe. Now in the back area, I've left weight in here, worked it flatter to keep more weight for the outside so I can carve more of a shape. Because the weight line is slightly above the occipital area pushes weight into the shape, so I need to just flatten that just a fraction. And I'll do that with a combination of techniques of scissor or comb and possibly pointing.
Stacey then refines his perimeter using a scissor over comb technique. Stacey then connects the fringe area with diagonal sections using the point of the graduation as a guide to the length and works from temple to centre. Stacey repeats the same process on the other side. Please note, Stacey refines his centre corner once he's sure his balance with both sides is correct. Stacey then completes the fringe area using the same process through both sides.
When working on the fringe area, extend it down to length in the front, and then you can take off the point, and that way you get a more balanced shape. If you work it too flat, the danger is that you're going to go too round. And also by heading down, you open up the eye sockets a little bit more. So the next part of the process is actually to cut the shape in the back, and then complete the shape with the disconnected portion on top.
Stacey refines his perimeter outline by pointing curved edges. Next, Stacey brings down the top area and finishes the hair with suitable product.
What I've done is I've taken the top out, dropped it down, dried the hair in shape, put a little bit more finish on it because I need to see where the hair's going to lay. If I just cut it wet, it's going to move around too much. So by having it dry, what I can do is on this side, see where my fringe is, through there, carve this through and then just drop down into my shape through the side, and then I can carve my shape into the back and do this dry. Then go through it, pulling it forwards and pulling it backwards. Because this is going to sit over the shape underneath, it's going to move a lot. You're never going to have it 100% perfect, but the idea is to give me that feel to it.
Stacey then cuts the disconnected area from the temple area down towards the cheek, carving a soft edge with the points of his blades, assessing the blend between the side and the fringe, mindful of bone structure. Stacey then works his perimeter outline from the front corner up towards the back of the ear. He then continues from the back of the ear towards the crown. Stacey then loosely blends the disconnection in the crown area. Next, Stacey repeats a similar process on the second side. On this side, his perimeter line is slightly longer and squarer over the ear for a slight asymmetric effect.
So this is my finished look, and you can see the strength of the fringe running around through onto the outside edges in the front. Now, with this sort of shape, the most difficult part is because the hair is disconnected through here, through the underneath, onto the top, is that the hair becomes a little bit more mobile. So by gently chipping the shape in around the front through here and down through the sides, it gives us a great strength. On this side, we've extended the shape more forwards because we've got more weight running forwards, and the growth pattern of the hair is more in this direction. So we've extended the line all the way down through here, but at the same time, we have this disconnected piece, which will wrap around on the top and start to give us a really different look. So the idea of this sort of haircut is that it can be worn in many different ways. So rather than being too static, we start to get these different movements that run through and give us these great balances, which is part of what Vidal started about his haircuts being a lot more mobile and adaptable for different people. And the main thing is suitability. And then if we pull it back down to its classic 5-point look, you can see the strength of the shape in the back by carving away parts of the hairline and dropping this down to this central point. When working on hairlines, the hair is very mobile and moves around a lot, so you have to go with the flow a little bit. Occasionally, the back is not exactly the same on both sides because of the hairline and the movements. So this is my tribute to Vidal and my version of the 5 points.
The finished result, a beautifully simple interpretation inspired by the iconic 5-point cut, validating the relevance of classic hairdressing in a modern context.